Hi, have you ever heard the term a style guide before? A style guide is a really important document that helps improve the quality of your writing. And you don't need to be brilliant at English to benefit from this. It's a very simple tool. So here's how it works. A style guide is a trick of the trade. It is used by large organisations to make sure that everybody working on a project explains things the same way. So for example, when I was helping publish content for the Department for Education, the word head teacher could be one or two words, and it wouldn't have a typo in it if I split it into two words or I didn't. Both are completely acceptable. But you do need to make sure when you're writing things that you spell words like that the same way. We don't want to have half a report with head teacher with a space and the other half of a report without the space. It looks a bit sloppy and a bit weird, and we want to make sure that we convince people that our attention to detail has been high throughout the book. So by putting it in the style guide, we can always look at that word the same way. It also speeds up your writing. You're not having to think about how you explained something last time. Perhaps you're putting a date in, did you have the 1st of July or did you just put 1 July? You can look through the style guide, get a quick refresher and understand how you always write dates in seconds. It also helps improve the readability for readers. If you think about it, sometimes the same concept can have different words. So you can have begin something, you can start something, you can commence doing something. And we want to make sure that we use the same word every time. So if we say to somebody, I want you to log in, and then later on we say, I want you to log in, because they've mastered how to log in earlier, they know what they're doing. If I then say, I want you to go to a website and authenticate your user account, I think, it's different. It was before, go and log in. So we need to make sure we use the same phrases every time we're doing the same action so that people understand what we mean really clearly. Remember, the whole point of your book is to explain knowledge, concept, processes. And if your processes are a bit confusing because you're not calling the same step the same thing each time, it just makes it a little bit more difficult for readers than it needs to be. So keep it consistent. You can use it to brief editors and proofreaders. If you've made a lot of mistakes with your book in terms of the written English, you've got lots of long sentences and you've continued to use long words despite me telling you not to, then your editor is going to have to work very hard to correct what you've put. Now, your style guide can also include the tone of voice that you want other people to follow. So for example, if you were writing a legal textbook, you probably wouldn't contract things like you wouldn't contract things like he's, it will be he is. So you would also have the tone of voice. You'd say, right, okay, I want my English to be informal. It's okay to contract things and put apostrophes in for don't, shan't, and so on. You don't put it out, don't expand things in full to do not. You can also say it's okay to add humour. I want to use UK English. I've used this dictionary for all of the words that need checking. So you can give that document to somebody else and they can follow your personal writing style as well as good English, which is really important, because the more somebody else has to edit your material, the more they're going to lose you in the book. And the whole point of the book is to have you as the expert. We don't want to disconnect between how you appear on paper and how you appear in real life. And there's a big danger that can happen if you don't include your tone of voice in your style guide. It also saves effort. Going back to my head teacher example, if I've gone through methodically and looking for every instance of the word head teacher and put a space in it, and then my editor goes through and thinks, head teacher hasn't got a space in it, they're going to methodically go through and change every instance to removing the space, which is a waste of time. It was already consistent as head teacher with the space in. It's a waste of somebody's time to go and do it the other way. So we don't want to be wasting the eye for detail that our proofreaders and editors have got because they're having to correct something we've already made consistent. So that was some tips on how you can use a style guide to improve the quality of your English. If you'd like to look at some more examples of how I can help you, please pop along to letstellyourstory.com, where there's lots more advice, hints, tips, training and tools that you can use to become a brilliant non-fiction author. I'll see you on another video. Bye for now.